Good morning, you guys. I am back from vacation. I'm using my camera stand as a way to hold up my hand in this camera because it can get really heavy. But I went away for about a week. We went to Puerto Rico, the San Juan area, and it was beautiful. Both us and the kids all had a really good time, but I must say I missed my garden a lot. I kept watching the weather to see like when it would rain, because as you guys know, my friend Stace came by to water, but when it rained she wouldn't have to. And to water this garden it takes like an hour, sometimes even an hour and a half. So I was like looking to see, when it's gonna rain, so that she could kind of get a break in between the 3 waterings that she would need to do. And it did rain one of the days, and both her and myself was really happy. She texted me, "Oh, it's raining," and I was like, "Yes, thank you." But now we have, I remember before we left, we had another half of the harvest to do, which was the potatoes and the onions in front. So I want to start today by getting that done, and then I'm also going to walk with you guys through the garden so you guys could see if my kind of security measures for the groundhogs even worked. How's the weed pressure? How's the plants doing? I did a really quick one when I came home because I was just so excited, and the peppers have like exploded in size. It's crazy what like a week difference in like the middle stages of the garden, what that week difference can do for the plants, and just getting that full sun, all of that good stuff. So we're gonna start out by doing the onion harvest, and yeah, we want to make sure we get that done before everybody really starts waking up and all the noises and stuff. So we're gonna head to the front. So we're supposed to be having rain in the forecast for the next couple days, so I really have to get these up because of that. You could see they've already started putting on, they already started like drying up and stuff. I don't think they could go through another rain because they'll just end up rotting. So this is just some of the red Withersfield. And then of course the Ailsa Craig is here, and this variety is the largest ones that I've been seeing. And I'm gonna link the video that I did when I first planted it. But I like to plant, I know everyone likes the big onions, but I like my onions like maybe this size, because I like to just finish it all in one go. I don't like to put it in the fridge and stuff. So I love seeing these big size onions, but I do prefer the smaller ones. And then over here is the Utah yellow Spanish sweet, and these ones are mostly the size that I like. And as you can see, I achieve that size by planting 2 to 3 in one planting hole. And then look, we have a volunteer pepper plant here. We're gonna keep that one going. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. But we're just going to jump right into it. This is where I moved the cherry tree. But I think I need to move it further back, like right here. I think right here will be good. You guys can see go. I want to go over the onion harvest really quick before we get into the potato harvest. The 3 varieties that I planted was the Ailsa Craig, this one is the Wethersfield Red, and then underneath is the Utah Yellow Spanish Sweet, some variation of that. I planted the Ailsa Craig because they get pretty big. They're like a globe size onion, but the only thing you have to remember about them is that they do not store well. So you want to use these onions first before anything. And the biggest ones for these, I guess, would be this one. So you could see it in comparison to my hand. So they could get 8 inches wide. I think this is more like 4 to 5 inches. But overall, I'm really happy with that one, especially because, like I said, I plant my onions like 2 to 3 per hole or per planting hole because I do not want them to get too big. The Ailsa did not care at all about that, but I did get a lot of them, not too many like really tiny ones because that row of onions was mostly towards the wall and that area gets full sun. So they were doing just fine. They were really happy. We had some issues with the strawberry leaves kind of shading them out a bit, but I think overall I would definitely go ahead and plant my strawberries and onions together again next year. Hopefully I'll have space because they're putting out a ton of runners right now. So I'm gonna go in and kind of clean those up maybe in a couple weeks or so, just so that I could make sure that I still have space to put my onions. The red Wethersfield, I'm really happy with those. The sizes are perfect. This is exactly the size that I would want for my onion. Here's a bigger one. You can see that. The red Wethersfield did relatively well as well. They did have more shading with the strawberry leaves, but all in all, I planted it the same way as I did the Ailsa Craig with about 2 to 3 per space, and they sized up really well. I didn't expect them to get as big as the Ailsa, so I'm really happy with how big these got, even though I planted multiples together. And then the last row was the Utah Yellow Spanish Sweet. I think that's the correct variation. But these were planted further towards the wall. They were the last row. They didn't get as much sun as the first 2 rows because of the shade. So I would say, you know, that was definitely a factor why I got more smaller onions for that variety. But the ones that were like closer towards where the sun comes, they were pretty big. I think the biggest one was this one. So I'm really happy with that. I am going to be planting onions for the fall planting. So for the fall planting, I think I'm going to stick with these 3. I may put in another variety just to give it a try, but I'm really happy with how these 3 performed. One thing to keep in mind, if you have like old onion seeds, you will not get as good of a germination as you would if you just had the seeds from like this year. I had seeds for maybe 2002, 2003, and my germination rate with those were really poor. So I went ahead and purchased new onion seeds this year. These are from I believe, MI Gardener. If that's incorrect, I will list it on the screen. But that was also a major factor in not only getting good seedlings to come up, but also having a decent sized onion. So if you have old onion seeds, just go ahead and toss those. You could try to like start them, but I have done that same thing, and that's why I ended up starting these in the first week of March versus February, which I did initially. And I was waiting for the seedling to pop up, and that didn't happen. And that's because I had an old batch of onion seeds. I'm already like really sweaty and gross. I just thought I had a window with the lawnmower being off, but as soon as I press record, it comes right back on. But that's fine, it's not too loud. But look at that. Look, let me get out the shot. Look at that. I cannot believe I grew that from seed. This is my second year growing onions, and for it to be this successful, I am now obsessed with growing garlic, obsessed with growing onion. I definitely have to plant a lot coming this fall, and seeing that there's not going to be all that stuff in the garden, I'll get to plant so much more in like the front two beds, because the back ones will definitely be just garlic. So I'm just really thrilled, proud of myself for, you know, being able to, you know, start things from seed. It's really hard. Like, it takes a lot of work. You put a lot of faith in the seed itself, and I don't know, it's just amazing to see these tiny seeds in your hand, and now they are full grown onions that you're able to feed your family and, you know, teach your kids about it and all that stuff. A lot of times when you ask like the kids, you know, where does this come from, where did that come from, they'll tell you the grocery store. So I feel like there's a disconnect there. So I'm just thrilled for me, for my kids, for my family. We're gonna do the potato harvest now. Just going to take a quick break because I am really hot. I need to get some water. I'm coughing like crazy. And then I'll come back out here and harvest the potatoes and also plant new ones. I'm gonna switch probably into like maybe like a loose long sleeve shirt because the mosquitoes down there are insane. If you guys have any like solutions for mosquitoes, please leave them in the comments below. I've been dying. My hands, my kids' hands and feet are just filled with mosquito bites. So I would really appreciate it if you have something that works other than the bug spray, because I hate spraying that on my skin. But I'll pick you guys up in a few. Yeah. As I'm editing this video for you guys, I realized that it is getting pretty long. So unintentionally, I decided to make this a two-part. So we're gonna have just the onions for this one, and then the potatoes and anything else that I have to harvest and showcase will be in the next one. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in part 2.